Hey, my name is Tanner Rose, and today I'm going to talk to you about Mrs. Pac Man Tag. This is a line tag alternative that we do at my school. When I first got here, a lot of kids like to play a game called Roadblock Line Tag where they get stuck. They sit down when they're tagged and they can't move, and then eventually somebody inside gets trapped and then nobody's moving. And I wanted to change that, so we created Mrs. Pac Man Tag. We're going to use the Shape America grade level outcomes that apply simple strategies and tactics in chasing activities and apply simple strategies in fleeing activities. Your gym is going to probably be set up different. This is the lines in my gym. You see all the small dots are poly spots. The circles are going to be hula hoops. We also add a few more things in, like you see the gray arrows. That is something that you can add in if you want, and that is a portal, and we'll talk about that later. So quite often people have different equipment, so you got to use what you want at your school that is available. I have hula hoops and these hoop stands, so I use these as my power pellets in our Pac-Man game. And then I have poly spots. I also have some fruit, and we'll talk about that later. That's the bucket with the ball on top. Here are my fruits. I just have 3 different size balls. I call one a lemon, I call one a cherry, and one is a blueberry. And I give the kids points if they can run past it and touch it while they're on the lines. Similar to how you would get points for getting the fruit in the game of Pac-Man or Mrs. Pac-Man. In our game, I have a lot of extra lines on the floor because of our COVID protocols. We box the floor up into little sections. If you want to eliminate some of those lines, just throw a cone on it and tell the kids it is a roadblock, and then they are unable to use that particular line for traveling from one point to another. All right, so the game of Pac-Man, if you're not familiar with it, you are this little hockey puck looking creature, and you're going to be collecting all of the pellets, which is the little dots, and that is like your food. If you get to the big dot, that is a power pellet in Pac-Man, and that allows you to chase the ghosts instead of them chasing you. And you can go ahead and actually eat the ghosts and make them go away. So that's kind of the gist of it. You see that there are yellow arrows. I do allow the kids to go out one side of the gym and come back in on the other side of the gym. That is our portal pass. By using a pool noodle, they can run around the edge of the gym without getting tagged. They do not have to stay on the lines for that. Now we have 4 different types of games. Younger students usually do really well with this first one. Older students do really well with the later ones, but we do try them all in each of my grades. So level 1 vocab is the Mrs. Pac-Man character is all the students. The pellets are our poly spots or dots on the floor. And our power pellets are the hoops that they will go through. So all students are Mrs. Pac-Man and they practice staying on the lines. They get points for stepping on the pellets and they get more points if they go through the power pellets. So 1 point or 5 points, you can call it whatever you want. That's kind of what I do it. Kids go around and they're really just practicing staying on the lines. This really helps with later on in the game when kids are running through open space. We can go back and do level 1 and kids remember how to do this. All right, they passed level 1 probably pretty easy. Level 2 vocab is Mrs. Pac-Man is still the students. Our pellets are still our dots or our poly spots. And now we're going to throw in some ghosts. Our ghosts are going to be students with the ball. So this is the first time we actually have students holding a ball and we're going to have a ghost. So in here, we're going to stay on the lines. Mrs. Pac-Man is going to eat as many pellets as she can. So we're still counting those pellets and trying not to get caught by the ghost. If the ghosts do tag you or they eat you, then Mrs. Pac-Man is out for just a second, but then they can regenerate as soon as the ghost walks away. So they may step off the line, let people get away, and then step back on the line. The idea is practicing getting away from the ghost. So level 3, a little bit different. We're getting rid of the balls now. Our ghosts are actually going to be the dots on the ground. Our power pellets are still the hoops, and our Mrs. Pac-Man is still our students. So the way we're going to do this is you stay in the lines. You're going to go through those power pellets to gain those superpowers. The power pellets allow you to eat the ghost. So you've gone through the hula hoop, and now you're chasing the ghost. Our ghosts are going to be the dots that are the same color as the power pellet you went through. Count the number of ghosts that you eat to score points. And our power pellets wear off when you go through a different colored power pellet. So if I went through a yellow hoop, then I'm going to be looking on the floor for the yellow poly spots, trying to stay on the lines as I get there. If on the way I step on 2 yellow poly spots, I gain 2 points. And then if I happen to be in the path of a blue hoop, I'll go through that. And I'm no longer looking for the yellow poly spots. Now I'm looking for the blue poly spots. This is going to help us with the idea of chasing after a ghost, and our ghost might be changing. And that'll help us with level 4. Don't forget, kids can use those portals if that's something that you're interested in adding in. So level 4, this is our last level and probably our most difficult for the younger ones. So we spend less time on that with the younger ones and more time with the bigger kids. So Mrs. Pac-Man is still the student, our power pellets are still the hoops, and our ghosts are now going to be a student with a colored ball. We're going to stay on the lines. We're going to go through the power pellets to gain those superpowers. Power pellets allow you to eat the ghosts, and the ghosts are students with that colored ball. So Mrs. Pac-Man can only eat the colored ghost, the same colored ghost as the power pellet that they recently went through. So you're going to count the number of ghosts that you eat to score points. And again, the power pellets wear off when you go through a different colored power pellet. So if I was going through and I happen to go through an orange hula hoop, I would look for the student with an orange ball. I'd stay on the lines as I try to get to them and tag them. If you tag them, then you go through another hoop and try to find a different person to tag. The person who's tagged just tries to run away from everybody. And it's kind of fun because they have no idea who's actually chasing them unless they're really paying attention. So this is how we play our game. It's a lot of fun. I do quite a few rounds so everybody gets an opportunity to either chase a ghost or to be a ghost who's being chased. At the end of the day, if we're wearing our pedometers, then we check our MVPA and the top 5 MVPA in the class. We write their name on the board and their point total, and that's kind of like our high score. Shortly after they leave, we erase it, and the next class gets to come in with a fresh slate. They all have an opportunity to get a high score of their own. That's how I play Mrs. Pac Man Tag. I hope you enjoy our line tag alternative. I will throw in some photos in my tweet so you can get some of these graphics if you want to copy them and save them to your computer.